At approximately 3 a.m. on the 15th of February 2009, Raymond Merry, a 30-year-old farmer from Dillsbury in Suffolk, was out ploughing his field when he noticed a dazzling electric blue orb-like light appear in the sky from the east and land in a copse nearby. Raymond stopped his tractor and went to investigate. What happened to Raymond next was an alien abduction that was almost entirely sexual in nature. Hello, very nice to meet you.
Two figures approached me from the copse. They were wearing tight, white, bright, all-in-one uniforms. I came to know them as Frank and Sandra.
So they told you their names? They could speak English?
No, they communicated in a simple form of sign language. There was lots of pointing, stuff like that. I just called them Frank and Sandra to make them more familiar, more human.
So they were definitely male and female in form?
Oh, yeah. I noticed Sandra was very much a female early on. She was all woman, if you know what I mean.
Did Sandra have any unusual features at all?
Her neck was a bit short.
And so what happened next?
Well, they pointed towards the copse and sort of gestured. And I figured they'd maybe broken down, so I thought I'd give them a hand.
Raymond followed his visitors into the copse. In a clearing, he came upon a spacecraft. Raymond later drew some pictures of what he saw that night.
Yeah, I followed him into the spacecraft, and the walls were a dazzling white. That's when Frank left us.
Were you concerned as to what was going to happen?
No, I was getting on quite well with Sandra by then. I was really starting to understand her hums. Plus, you wouldn't have minded if you'd have seen her. She had lovely golden long hair and ample hips and thighs. It was then that she undid her spacesuit and revealed this body. And that's when it happened.
What happened, Raymond?
Well, we had sex on the floor. It was highly erotic, long-lasting, and I could tell that she was pleased.
How could you tell?
Well, she gave me the thumbs up. She rubbed her tummy and pointed to the stars.
What do you think she meant by that?
Well, she was obviously pleased with the sex, but I think she could also tell that she conceived and that she would look after our child in the stars.
Is that what you think, Raymond? That you've fathered an alien child?
Yeah.
As Raymond left the spaceship, Frank gave him a pat on the back, as if to confirm Raymond's suspicions. He wonders if someday Sandra will appear again, perhaps with a child. An alien child that he has fathered. Raymond, how have you and your wife coped with the experience?
Well, it's been very traumatic. I often have dreams about that night, and I wake up in a cold sweat, just thinking about Sandra, her rubbing herself and that. And the wife isn't too happy either.
With your being upset and traumatised?
Well, yeah, there is that, but there's also the sex with a beautiful woman.
She's unhappy at your unfaithfulness.
Well, yeah, I just wasn't myself that night. I was like a man possessed. Maybe they used some kind of beam or something to make me more aroused.
You think they somehow stimulated you sexually?
Well, I've never had any complaints in that department, if that's what you're saying, and she certainly didn't force me. But it just doesn't look good from the wife's perspective, does it? And then there's the issue with the child.
You don't have children of your own, do you, Raymond?
No. I sometimes say to the wife, I wonder what Sandra and Stella are doing right now.
Stella? You've given her a name. She's a girl.
Yeah. As I said before, it makes it more familiar, more human. Plus, I've always liked that Stella McCartney's clothes designs. And Stella has a space connotation, you know, as in Interstellar Overdrive.
Yes, I see.
I made a little shrine next to the bed, along with other mementos that night. It just means that they're always with me.
Raymond says he will never forget that night, and that he thinks that Sandra and Stella may well return. Raymond is waiting for an alien child that may never come. But in the meantime, he has a farm to run.